And I now call George Adam.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I'd also like to thank Annabel Goldie for bringing this debate here. My own background with this project goes back to probably about summer of 2008, where as a councillor in Paisley South, I decided to go along and see what was actually happening in the area. And I went every Monday night along this area. It was an area that identified as the police as a hotspot for antisocial behaviour in Glenburn. And I went every single Monday night, much to the annoyance of my own wife. But I went along to see this, to see how it worked. And the big difference is it's not exactly rocket science how they deal with the young people. It's been done by church groups, faith groups, the BB, the Cubs, the Scouts for years, and the YMCA for decades. It's the fact that they have the credibility. They're sitting there with their St Mirren tracksuit on, and the coaches are talking to them, and they may have the same sports qualification as someone who works in social work or education leisure, but they have the credibility that the young person has with them, other than anyone else would have. And the difference I saw the first time over there was quite interesting. There was a group of young men up in the play park drinking alcohol, and they decided to come across to us and talk to us, and right away they said to me, "Big man," which seems to be the term that I get used. It wasn't councillor, it was big man. If I'd known this was here, I wouldn't have had a drink. Now, the gentleman was 14 that was talking at the time. At that time, I was just turned 40, I think, and I said to the individual, I I like a beer as well, but the difference is I'm 14 and you're 40. I said, there's a wee bit difference here, we need to move away. So the football made him engage and his friends away from actually doing any antisocial behaviour, and on that evening drinking, and they came back week after week. But it's challenging work for these coaches, because sometimes these young people can turn up. Let's not kid ourselves, the social issues are still there. You know, regardless of how good a scheme it is, they have to deal with the social issues and the challenges that are there for them. And there's been various times when young people have turned up and they have obviously been involved with drugs. But the good thing about the project is that the coaches and the people involved in the buses have actually spoke to them, are trained to deal with people, young people in that scenario. And in some cases, they've taken some of the young people and made them actually become volunteers, become involved in the project itself, and given them an opportunity to get access to a different way of enjoying themselves locally as well. I would say that when the project was originally set up, it was basically just a case of the then leader, Derek Mackay, leader of Renfrewshire Council, just banging a few heads together. The ideas were there. It was just getting everybody in the one room to actually discuss the idea. Arriva had talked about buses for this type of thing. St Mirren wanted to do more work within the community, but they were all talking not with each other, but they were all talking about what they could do. And the fact that they've got together, and this has made such a difference. In my own council ward at that time, it was a 25% reduction in antisocial behaviour, and that was quite dramatic. And the local, Mr Bibby is quite correct, the local area committees were the prime funders during that area, and I was a chair of one of them, and we made sure, but it was cross-party support. Everybody agreed on this, and I can assure you, Presiding Officer, in Renfrewshire, that's quite a radical idea of cross-party support, but everybody could see the benefit that we were making. And Eddie Devine and I shared a council ward, and we knew, both of us being big St Mirren fans, seen it as a new way of getting a new generation of buddies involved in football. But there's one thing that the Streetstuff programme constantly, and the people involved, like Stevie Gallagher, who runs it for St Mirren, who is an absolute legend and brilliant with the children themselves and the young people, they absolutely love him. But one of the things that they say to St Mirren constantly is that, you know, we've won more silverware and we have more prizes than the actual Premier League football team has. But in closing, Presiding Officer, in Paisley, in this year, we actually believe that that can all change. And come March the 17th, St Mirren could actually have a trophy in there to go along with the Streetstuff trophies as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.